The Cosmic Alliance had never faced a challenge as daunting as the one posed by the Zorblaxians. These beings were relentless and merciless, their entire society built around warfare and the total annihilation of anything and anyone that was not their own. No mercy, no negotiations, just a singular, brutal drive to conquer and destroy. The vast constellation of systems, which had spent centuries in conflict with one another, were now forced to put aside their differences and unite against this overwhelming threat. The Zorblaxians' aggressive expansion and brutal tactics had left the Alliance with no other choice. Years of unending warfare followed. The conflict shattered the once stable cosmos into a state of utter chaos. Battles raged across countless star systems, and entire worlds were laid to waste. The Alliance fought valiantly, but the Zorblaxians were a relentless foe, and the war took a heavy toll on both sides. Eventually, after many hard-fought battles, the supreme ruler of the Zorblaxians was defeated. His ornate seat, once a symbol of his unassailable power, lay toppled. Yet, even in their defeat, the Zorblaxians proved to be tenacious. Some of their kin managed to escape the final onslaught, slipping away into the vast reaches of space. These survivors boarded hastily prepared Exodus vessels, venturing into the expansive and uncharted regions of the Cosmic Ring. This forced the Cosmic Coalition to extend their efforts, scouring the desolate expanses of space to hunt down any remaining Zorblaxian strongholds and prevent them from regrouping and rising again. Despite the Coalition's relentless pursuit, Grand Admiral Thalric often pondered the madness required to choose such desolate regions for refuge. The Cosmic Ring was a harsh and unforgiving part of the universe, with life-sustaining worlds few and far between. Over the course of 500 years, the Coalition's vanguard fleet had encountered only a handful of Zorblaxian enclaves, all devoid of indigenous civilizations. Habitable worlds in this region were so scarce that one might only come across one every few hundred light-years. Even if sentient beings had once existed in these isolated areas, the sheer lack of resources and hostile environments would have prevented them from developing the technology needed to venture into the cosmos. A civilization confined to a single planet would have stood no chance against the technologically advanced and battle-hardened Zorblaxians, who seemed to have dominated every habitable planet they had come across so far. Grand Admiral Thalric's reflections were abruptly interrupted by an urgent cry from the bridge. "I've detected a signal," the sensor operator exclaimed. Grand Admiral Thalric leaped from his seat. "Communications, verify with the fleet if they're seeing the same." Sensor operator, gauge the size and count of the enemy fleet. Everyone else, to your stations. I want all ships battle-ready in 10 standard units. He quickly approached the sensor operator station. "What's your initial assessment?" he demanded. "Hard to say from this distance, sir, but it appears we're facing about 20,000 ships," the sensor operator replied, the tension evident in his voice. The Admiral's breath hitched. He tried to mask his alarm, but the sheer number was staggering. These couldn't be full-fledged battleships, he reassured himself. More likely, they were a mix of scout drones and a few command ships and war vessels. It had to be that way. His own armada, though comprising merely 5,000 ships, represented the pinnacle of the Alliance's military prowess and technological advancement. Each ship was equipped with the latest in weapons and defenses, crewed by seasoned veterans who had spent their lives in service to the Alliance. As the fleet prepared for battle, Grand Admiral Thalric could only hope that their preparations and unity would be enough to face this new challenge. The fate of the cosmos might once again hinge on the outcome of a single, decisive confrontation. The combined industrial capabilities of 10 planets were an overwhelming force, far beyond what the Zorblaxians could gather from a mere galactic limb. It was an unthinkable disparity. "Sir," the communications officer interrupted, his voice tinged with astonishment, "the hostiles wish to communicate." The Admiral's mind raced. The Zorblaxians never sought negotiation. What could this imply? Open a channel. But sir, do it. He understood the risks. Establishing a communication line could expose them to digital warfare. Nevertheless, he trusted his security team's skills to mitigate the danger. A figure appeared on the screen, catching Thalric off guard. The entity was unfamiliar, a possible genetic creation by the Zorblaxians for some perverse purpose. This seemed more plausible when it started speaking in a dialect similar to Zorblaxian formalities. I regret employing the language of our foes, but it was our only mutual language. Before Thalric could respond, the creature added, I am Commander Jane Doe, of the 33rd Scouting Armada. I extend greetings from all error, term unrecognized. The translation system failed to recognize the last term, and it certainly wasn't Zorblaxian. Thalric saw this as a positive sign. Perhaps these humans came from another galaxy, which would explain the scouting designation. Still, he decided to reveal as little as possible.
Salutations, commandé.
We are delegates of the Cosmic Unity Coalition. He wouldn't make the mistake of disclosing his mission as the humans had done. You're an exploration fleet, correct? Yes. How did you deduce that? He was puzzled by Commander Doe's inference, but saw an opportunity. Because your vessels are equipped for combat, but not heavily so. Thalric struggled to hide his surprise. Lightly armed? The exploration fleets were among the mightiest in the cosmos, capable of devastating entire worlds under Zorblaxian control. I must consult with the civilian advisory. This first contact alters our entire mission scope. Take all the time necessary, the human replied before severing the connection. Thalric exhaled deeply, then summoned the Strategy Council. Moments later, the council convened. Grand Admiral Thalric began the meeting in the traditional manner. As you're all aware, we've encountered an unidentified fleet. They represent a newly identified species called humans. This unexpected discovery demands swift action. Here's what we know so far. Fortunately, they view the Zorblaxians as adversaries and seem favorable towards us. They even mistook us for non-combatants. Laughter filled the room, except from the chief observer who requested to speak. Our scans have collected multiple images of human vessels. Here's the most detailed one. A hologram flickered to life, freezing Thalric's blood. He was familiar with Zorblaxian ships, monstrous constructs bristling with armaments for total annihilation. Yet, compared to the human ship before him, Zorblaxian crafts seemed almost benign. The human ship's design was starkly pragmatic, a colossal metal box devoid of aesthetics, without a single window, relying solely on sensors for observation. But it wasn't its appearance that horrified him. It was the armament. The ship bristled with an array of plasma cannons, missile systems, kinetic artillery, lasers, and railguns. Only the launch bays, undoubtedly housing equally formidable fighters, broke the uniformity of its arsenal. Thalric knew he was looking at a war machine of unparalleled efficiency. Yet, something felt off. Their armaments, he noted, appear diminutive. They are not, Admiral. Observe the scale. Thalric gasped. The ship dwarfed his flagship by more than double. Is this their command vessel? Fear not. This class represents the majority of their fleet, approximately 8,000 units strong. No. What do you mean, no? Our sensors malfunctioning is unlikely, but it's still more plausible than the existence of such a fleet. It's inconceivable to find something like this here, in this remote galactic sector. Let's pause for a moment. I need to contact the humans again to clarify this enigma. The command center fell silent, the crew exchanging uncertain glances. Thalric's brow furrowed in deep thought. He knew the situation was precarious, and any misunderstanding could escalate tensions. Taking a deep breath, he turned to the chief communicator. Allow me, the chief communicator interjected. We've just decoded their language. We should manage without relying on Zorblaxian. One issue remains, Thalric noted, his voice tinged with concern. They refer to their language as English, not human. Thalric felt a knot of anxiety tighten in his stomach. Reluctantly, he reopened the communication channel. The screen flickered before the image of Commander Doe reappeared. Greetings again, human. Or is English more apt? Thalric asked, trying to mask his unease. Why would you consider me English? Commander Doe appeared baffled, taking a moment to process the question. The language data. So, yes, I speak English, though I'm not English myself. It's complicated. What did your council decide? Thalric hesitated. Why this cordiality? Your ships appear far more formidable than even our military ones. We're a young civilization. Our resources are limited. Luxuries aren't our priority, Commander Do explained patiently. As for our friendliness, you're the ones who pursued the Zorblaxians, correct? That's accurate. What relevance do the Zorblaxians have? Thalric inquired, his curiosity piqued. Before achieving faster-than-light travel, a small Zorblaxian squadron attacked us. We triumphed, and their technology kick-started our expansion. Scout fleets like mine were deployed to locate the civilization that had so effectively frightened them, Commander Do revealed. Frightened? Thalric repeated, astonished. Indeed, they were utterly petrified. They're so hasty in their settlement efforts that they seldom establish substantial infrastructure. Commander Do elaborated. Is that so? Thalric murmured, trying to digest this new information. Absolutely. Regarding infrastructure, might you assist us? The Zorblaxian technology we've acquired is fragmented, providing little insight into civilian applications. We're particularly interested in your expertise with asteroid mining, Dyson spheres, matryoshka brains, and terraforming, Commander Do continued. Pardon, our translation device seems to be malfunctioning. Could you clarify the last few items? Thalric requested. With pleasure. Dyson spheres, to us, are constructs enveloping stars to harness their energy entirely. Matryoshka brains are supercomputers powered by such spheres, and terraforming transforms uninhabitable planets into viable homes, Commander Do explained. And you accomplish this through asteroid mining? Thalric asked, still grappling with the scale of human technology. Wait, you can do that? Our technology must indeed be primitive. No, we typically deplete whole planets for such projects. Asteroid mining primarily supports our shipbuilding efforts, Commander Do responded, sounding impressed. Speaking of which, do you believe our military strength is sufficient for the challenges ahead? Our 50 scout fleets might be modest, but the 250 defense and 150 attack fleets are far more formidable. I believe that should suffice, Thalric said, struggling to maintain his composure. That's also what our command believes. They deem further expansion of our naval forces unnecessary, favoring the development of planet ships, Commander Do added enthusiastically. Planet ships? Thalric echoed, his mind reeling. Yes, converting planets into fortified megastructures, brimming with as many ships as possible, armed with colossal weapons and warp drives. Quite ingenious, right? Commander Do said proudly. Indeed. Thalric replied, barely able to keep his thoughts straight. We've identified 350 potential candidates. Moreover, these ships will be highly automated. Operating a Sirius-class corvette, which predominates my fleet, requires 30 personnel. With a total population of only 30 billion humans, efficiency is paramount. If we can't optimize usage, our military aspirations will flounder. Oh, you seem unwell. Is everything all right? Commander Do inquired, noticing Thalric's distress. I need to report to my superiors immediately, Thalric said abruptly, hastily terminating the connection. Turning to his crew, he declared, these humans are extraordinary. Harnessing stellar energy? Engineering habitable worlds? Planet ships? It's no mystery why the Zorblaxians abstained from such ambitious constructions. Send a message to the Prime Minister. We face an unprecedented challenge. Thalric's revelation underscored a pivotal moment, not just for the cosmic coalition, but for the very fabric of galactic interaction. The emergence of humans, with their astounding technological prowess and unconventional military strategy, promised to reshape the dynamics of power, diplomacy, and survival in the vast cosmic arena. The crew, now fully aware of the gravity of the situation, sprang into action, understanding that their next steps could determine the fate of their civilization.